Good morning, children, and welcome back to this new class of English where we will finish the chapter Tarot's Reward. Now, children, I definitely would like to speak that you all are working very hard and you people are doing the assignments very well. You people are taking care of all the instructions given. Alright, now children, let us finish the chapter, and after this, children, I will give you the solution of the questions and answers and exercises which are left to be completed. So, after this class, the whole chapter will be over with the solution of the exercises and questions and answer, children. So, in the previous class, we discussed that how Taro was working very hard and thinking of his father's situation. He was chopping the woods again and again. Then, when he was tired, suddenly he heard that sound of water stream, and then suddenly the axe dropped from his hands and he rushed towards that stream. When he tried to make that cup of his hands, he tasted the water from the waterfall. It tasted like a sake. He tasted again and again, children. So, after that, he thought that yes, it is definitely a sake. And children, it was nothing but a magic for him. Why? Because every time when Taro used to come to this patch of forest, he never found any waterfall. But this was kind of a magic. Since he was working so hard, God was rewarding him. Now, children, when he reached home, his father tasted the taro. His father tasted the sake, and he jumped out of excitement and he started dancing. With one sip only, children, he just thought that he is now feeling that warmth, and he stopped shivering, children. Now, when the lady, the visitor who came to Taro's place, Taro's father offered that lady a cup of sake. She greedily drank it all. She got to listen the whole story how Taro managed to get that expensive sake. Then children by the night appeared. This story reached out to all the villagers of where Taro was living. Now, paragraph number 10. I will read, children, and you are going to listen to me very carefully, children. Alright? Now, next morning, Taro started for work even earlier than morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned. Children, now do you think why he was carrying a larger pitcher? Because he wanted to collect more sake. Now, he carried a larger pitcher he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. Now, children, he was not carrying any axe because in his mind now he wanted to collect that sake. Now, children, he had to collect that sake for his parents and he rushed to that waterfall. Same paragraph number 10, children. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise that all his neighbors were there, because the lady spread that story to everybody. So he found that all the neighbors were gathering there. Children, here the word intended means planned. Obviously, when you try to do something in a different way and you succeed, you always intend to do that way only. So when he got that sake from that waterfall, he was intended to go and fill that pitcher again. So here intended means planned, children. Now, he saw the neighbors who were there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic sake. Since it is an expensive drink, all the villagers who are not so well off, who are not financially well, who are not rich, obviously that is a great surprise and a blessing for them. So whatever bucket, pitcher, jar, whatever these villagers were having, children, they were collecting it and they were taking it to the place where waterfall was having the magical sake. After that, children, then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. It is nailed here, children, when one villager tried to go to the waterfall, similarly like Taro did, and tried to taste that. Then what happened? Then he drank again and again and then shouted angrily, "Water! Nothing but water." Now, children, did you see when the villagers who were very greedy to get that sake, they knelt down and they tried to taste that sake, and what they found, that it was pure water only. Now, what is this? Since Taro was having sake from this waterfall and these villagers, they were getting water. Why, children? You all know the answer. I will give the answer to this question in the end. Let us read what the chapter has to say further. Then nothing but water. Others also tried, but there was no sake, only cold water. Children, was there any difference between Taro and these villages? Yes, you guessed it right. Taro was an honest man who had no, no desires with any wrong thoughts. But these villagers who were greedy, listening to Taro's story, started coming there and tried to gather that sake. But is God rewarding everybody? No. Let us see paragraph number 11. "We have been tricked," shouted the villagers. "Where is Taro? Let us drown him in this waterfall." Children, tricked. Tricked means deceived. Tricky. He is a tricky person. Means that person knows how to deceive others. So these villagers were feeling that we are being tricked. We have been fooled off by Taro. So they were angry on Taro. And they said that let us drown Taro in this waterfall. Drown, you all know, to submerge someone, which is in Hindi, doob jana. So, but Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock when he saw how things were going. He was nowhere to be found, children. Children, Taro, when he saw that all the villagers were waiting there for the waterfall, he hid himself behind a huge rock and he was seeing what is going on. When he saw, children, that Taro's story came out to be false for everybody and the waterfall was having only water, the villagers were very angry on Taro. They wanted to drown Taro in this waterfall. So he hid himself very nicely and nobody could find Taro. Now, paragraph number 12. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. Now, muttering is speaking something unclearly. If you are angry with someone, you don't have that gut to speak that same thing in front of that person, but you will mutter inside like this, na? So the villagers were muttering something which was not clear. Everybody, because they were unhappy, they could not find sake. So one by one, people started leaving that place. Now, Taro came out from his hiding place. Was it true? He wondered. Now, when everybody left from there, he came out from that rock and started thinking, was this true? Was this true? Is this waterfall actually giving water now? Was the sake a dream? Was I dreaming all the while and my father was also dreaming? It was not sake, it was water. Then, I will read the same paragraph, children. Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same fine sake. To the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious sake. To everyone else, it gave only cold water. This is the answer to the question which I had put earlier, that why it was different for villagers and waterfall was different for Taro. Because Taro was honest and Taro was a thoughtful son, children. He was always dedicated. He was always devoted for his parents. Thus, he was being blessed by God Almighty. Isn't it, children? Now, After this, children, paragraph number 13. Here comes the main gist of the chapter. This paragraph 13 holds the moral of the story. The story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter. He sent for the young woodcutter means he asked his people to go and find and call Taro to him. He wanted to meet Taro. So, and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. I will continue with the paragraph, children. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. This, said the emperor, was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. Here, children, the story gets over, but the message which we are getting is when the story reached the Emperor of Japan, he wanted to meet Taro, isn't it? Because Taro was so inspiring for Emperor, that how thoughtful son he is, how devoted he is, how kind he is. If Taro was very clever, children, he wouldn't have tell the story to that lady who came to his house. Yes, so Taro was not at all tricky. Taro was not at all liar. Taro was very honest, kind, gentle, thoughtful, devoted, dedicated. Yes. So emperor gave him as a reward, children, 20 pieces of gold, because he was very kind and good, children. For his honesty, for his goodness, for his kindness, the emperor rewarded him. Then first reward, 20 pieces of gold. Second reward, then he named the most beautiful fountain by his name, Taro. The name to this waterfall was being given by his name, which was Taro now. So second, he was famous because his name was given to this waterfall. And then he said that it was just to encourage all the children to honor and obey their parents. He set an example. He has set an example for all the children to respect, to obey, to listen to their parents, and just be honest and kind to your parents, isn't it? So this is the message which is being given to us. Apart from knowing your parents, loving your parents, obeying your parents, and respecting them, children, second message is we should not be tricky, we should be honest. And third, God, who is watching us, is going to reward us with whatever possibly we can get. So reward is always there, children. We have to be kind, we have to be honest in our work, and God, who is watching us, is going to reward us. Now, children, this is the end of the story. I hope you people like the story. I hope you people have understood the story. And after this, children, we will be completing the remaining part of the exercises and the questions and answer, children. Now, before we end the explanation part, children, I would like you all to go through the words which are given, difficult words which are given in the pink box. All the difficult words which are given in the pink box, children, you have to go through them very nicely, children. Then what you need to do is you need to see the meanings of them, and you have to learn them. Since you people are coming from class 5 to class 6, children, this is your time to learn more and to work hard. What you people did in class 5, you have to do a little extra. Since this class is big, work is going to be bigger, and even your dedication and your efforts have to be bigger. So children, you need to learn all these meanings by heart and prepare the chapter thoroughly. Whatever doubts are there, children, you may put up in the comment section, and we are here to help you all, and we are here to clear your doubts. So children, please do the remaining part and complete this chapter. Hope you people have understood the chapter very well. Thank you so much. See you all in the next class. Take care. Bye-bye.